Hey everybody, welcome to the Mr. Mum's World Speak show. Here we are today live where food, family, friends, fun, fur, two-legged, four-legger are all just as important. Today I have a very special guest in these very challenging times of COVID. I want to introduce you to Dr. Bonnie Henry. Welcome, Dr. Bonnie.
Well, thank you for having me.
I just have a couple questions if you don't mind, if you've got time in your busy schedule.
Sure, go ahead.
So when is this COVID done?
Well, unfortunately, because the BC residents will not follow protocols, it is far from over. As Bachman Turner said, 2021, you ain't seen nothing yet. However, if everyone wears masks and stays home for 2 weeks, then there will be no virus. As Arnold Schwarzenegger said, hasta la vista, baby. However, that actually means I'll see you later, so the virus will be back.
I also have another question. Why is it that my kids can go to the cesspool we call a school, yet I can only have 6 in my home?
Well, Russell, that's because in every school, there's at least one responsible adult.
Have you been to my kids' school?
No, I haven't, but I have been to your home, and most people would have at least one responsible adult there. However, I'll make an exception at yours.
Thank you. Should we think about traveling at these times?
I think we should all think very deep and hard about traveling. Keep those creative, imaginative juices flowing because we won't be traveling anytime soon.
Should we wear a mask during sex, as Dr. Tam, the national doctor, has suggested?
Well, I don't know about masks, but in the dating world, some of you might want to wear a paper bag.
Thank you.
And in your world, I know that you probably wear a few masks right next to that big drawer with all your toys.
Is underwear a good mask if I run out of the regular masks?
Well, just like real underwear, they should only be used as a last resort. I wouldn't, however, recommend boxers, and I wouldn't normally recommend G-strings, but given that you're a well-hung man, it might be good to use for coverage.
How can I get myself a pair of Dr. Henry shoes? You know, the ones that you're famous for wearing?
You mean these?
Yes, those are quite lovely.
Well, Russell, if you had a pair of Dr. Henry shoes, they would no longer be called Dr. Henry shoes. They'd be called Mr. Mom shoes, wouldn't they? That's a sneaky way of saying, I'm not telling.
One last question, Dr. Henry. If my farts are juicy, can they spread COVID?
I would say if your gas was as juicy as I imagine them to be, you would certainly be a super spreader.
Dr. Henry, thank you for joining us today on Mr. Mum's World Speaks. We would love to be able to keep tabs on you and COVID throughout 2020. Again, thank you so much for joining me on Mr. Mum's World Speaks.
And thank you so very much. And I just want to say,
keep up the good work, Bonnie Henry. Sorry for the terrible impersonation.
Thank you. We just want to say we love Dr. Henry, and we thought it was a great spoof during COVID. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Bonnie Kilroe. She does, I don't know, I'm going to say over 30 characters. Her website is
celebrity-imposters.com. That's an imposters with an ER, not an OR, because that one was taken.
awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe.